What is good? What is good, my people? Welcome back to the Unfiltered Empire. We're back here with a new episode as well on Trigger Truth Thursday. This is where we talk about things that are going on in the world right now. So today's topic is Donald Trump versus Elon Musk. If you are realizing what's going on, you can see on social media they've been going back and forth like little kids, and not back and forth literally. But Trump has had a press conference today, and they've been interviewing, asking him questions, and then obviously on X. Elon Musk has been tweeting like crazy everything he's been saying. So first thing I wanted to do is break down the timeline on how this has been playing out. I seen this coming. I said in the beginning to a lot of my friends and on this platform that this friendship was not going to last. It was going to last 6 months. I said the first 6 months of the year, then after that, they're going to be out of here. It's not going to work. Elon's losing a lot of his people. We're losing a lot in the EV race when it comes to BYD overseas. People don't say they want a Tesla 99% of the time in other countries. They're saying they want the other company China has. That's not good for business. Seeing the stock was down, I think, 60% on the year from highs. Just today alone, the stock has fallen $45 in one day. That's almost 14.5%. Crazy. Mid 2023, late 2024, I'm reading some of my notes. Elon Musk and Donald Trump formed a strategic alignment heading into the 2024 election season. So they became buddy, but Musk provided indirect support via policy influence, especially through X, of course, because he owns X, by boosting Trump aligned narratives. Think about that. I'm going to go to this guy that has access to social media, his own platform, and then I know I can push what I want on an entire platform. That's a cheat code in a way. Musk criticizes Biden's EV subsidize a green energy agenda, positioning himself closer to Trump's deregulatory stance. Trump took money away from the EV side of things. In a way, I could feel like Musk was doing that for the standpoint of, the other companies trying to do EV, everyone's trying to hop on our wave. Early January 2025, January through March, Trump began making subtle jabs at EVs, hinting at EV tax. He's actually cutting EV tax incentives. That hurts Musk because he's an EV company. Musk stays quiet, hoping to retain influence inside of the camp. This is quote unquote what the notes were telling me as well. And then in April through May, you can start seeing the friction start to go between them. So I want you to realize this for a second. I have to win the election. What do I need to do to win the election? Well, I know social media is one of the biggest standpoints now when it comes to winning an election. You push your campaign on social media. Back in the past, they did the same thing. They pushed their campaign on social media, but social media wasn't hyper visualized and there wasn't a spotlight on social media when it came to politics as it is now, in my perspective. So the best play to run is to go to social media now. Well, let me go to someone that owns a social media company and become besties with them. I become besties with them. Then at the same time, my agenda gets pushed on their platform. Plus, their platform is a platform where it's free speech. You can speak about whatever you really want to on X. And you can see in the stance of all the crazy stuff that's on X. So Trump publicly criticizes Tesla. But then remember, he had Cybertrucks and Teslas in front of the White House. He had the EV cars on the White House, but he's cutting the EV spend. He's cutting different EV tax incentives. Think about that for a second. But Trump publicly criticized Tesla in the EV market, suggestion it's government dependent and a risk to American jobs. So you're saying that in general that these companies, and the EV market is very dependent on the government giving them incentives, giving them tax breaks, giving them different things. You know how when you get an EV, and especially Illinois, you get a different license plate and the risk to American jobs. While EV automated, now majority of the cars made by a computer. It's all computerized. You're not getting an oil change most of the time. You're not getting a lot of mechanical stuff done on the car, but you still have American and human beings working on the car, just a fewer level of. Musk privately warned insiders that Trump's agenda could hurt U.S. innovation and long-term energy independence. Now, some might think that's true. Some might think that's not true. I do think that a lot of his agenda is going to hurt the economy in the long run because you just look at what he's saying. If he's coming here and he's telling you that these tariffs, we need to build everything in America. Well, it's going to take us probably 6 to 8 years, minimum 4, to build the things here to make the products that we want here. Then you have to find the infrastructure to build things here. So it's like you have to kind of put into play. It sounds nice. It sounds good, but how realistic is it to actually happen? How realistic is it to go through with that? You're not going to just magically start building buildings in a year and everything's going to be made here in America. So the tariffs hit immediately, but the change doesn't happen for next 6 years. So you got to think about how that looks when it comes to, is that really going to help us? I understand, it saves money, save different tax breaks because a lot of the money we're spending. I understand. I definitely see that part of it as well, too. And then long-term energy independence. You want to be independent in everything you do, in my perspective. System, you don't want to depend on the person. You want to be independent in everything that you do. And then boom, we're here, June 2025. It is currently June 5th, and the fallout happened. Trump and Elon Musk, they did it right the first way. They went together. He gave him a key to the White House. They had a little press conference together with him standing there, Trump sitting there, XYZ doing their thing. But then you realize there's always more under the line they're showing you. The line's never just a straight line. So then you're seeing now it's like boom, Musk breaks ranks, calling out Trump for being part of the F teams list, his term for ineffective government figures. Trump retaliates, calling Musk a fraud who owns everything to taxpayers subsidized. And then Musk responded on X saying, "You can't make America great again by killing the very industries building the future." So now think about it. This was somebody now that was, hey, pro this guy. I believe in him. If there's any man I trust, it's him. Now it's you're tearing down the country. You don't know what you're doing. So it shows you this is a very key lesson, and I also want to tie it into social media, and also want to tie it into how things are portrayed. The world loves negativity. People are eating this up like it's cooked food. They love to see people argue with each other. That's what makes money. That's what makes all the headlines. But always remember, everything's a distraction. 99% of things happening are distractions. And now, looking at this and the time that we're in, this big bill that he just passed, all these different things that are happening and changing around us every single day. And then they come out with this. And Elon Musk, anything he says is going to get millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Anything Trump says is going to get millions and millions and millions of views. Why? Well, of course, it's Donald Trump, the president of America. And then Elon Musk, the guy that owns Starlink, the guy that owns Tesla, the guy that owns Neuralink. He's trying to take over your brain at the same time, not fully take over, but he's trying to put something into your brain. He has the satellites in the air that now allows for technology, service, signal to be reachable anywhere, which is good. That is not a bad thing. But it shows there's one person with a lot of control, two people in this situation with a lot of control. And it's something we have to be very keen and aware of, because there's a lot going on in the background that no one's really going to pay attention to. Everyone now is just going to hype up how they're arguing and fighting with each other. But they've been playing in your face the whole time, if you really think about it. They've been playing this game in your face the whole entire time. This was going to happen. There was no way it wasn't going to happen. The majority of the things Trump planned on doing was going to hurt his sector, was going to hurt Tesla, was going to hurt these companies. So this was going to happen at some point in time. But I'm just wondering, why didn't people realize that? Why did people feed so much into everything getting built up, everything getting looking nice and glamorous, and then boom? Because like these are the three key points of why they're beefing. Musk wants global innovation. Who doesn't want global innovation? Especially AI, EV dominance. So he wants it to be dominant here. Trump wants short-term manufacturing wins. He wants especially in fossil fuel heavy states. So he's looking for short-term wins. Personally, I'm not gonna say I don't feel like when you're planning for a country, you don't want to plan short term, you want to plan long term. I know your presidency might be short term, but you want to have a long term vision. You don't want to have so their goals diverge. Musk wants autonomy, Trump wants loyalty. The thing is too, Trump is also breaking the loyalty with a lot of different people, a lot of different countries by throwing these tariffs on them out of nowhere. We are in a battle with Canada. We want them as the 51st state. And then at the same time, now they want us to take all these tariffs down and resend what we've been putting out to them. Just pay attention to all the stuff going on in the world. When have you seen the president and someone of high power go back and forth like this? When have you ever seen that? Not saying it's impossible, not saying that it's never happened before, but do you remember when you've ever seen this before? Do you remember a president tweeting on his own platform, and then the person that he was really close with, buddy buddy, that made a whole system named after Doge, and then there's a Doge coin, who created a Doge coin, who's linked to all of those different things? It has to make you just sit and think like, damn, what's really going on? And then I keep talking about solar cycle 2025. Most energy is on the earth this year. So that's why I feel like we're seeing more outlandish things happen at a faster rate and a faster pace. Prayers up to everyone included in that incident that happened in Paris. Someone took a car and drove to a bunch of people. You know, the crazy thing, that's the second time it's happened this year. The first time was on the first day of the year in America. And there could be another time that I just probably don't know about. What does that tell us in a way? Yes, things happen. It's part of life. But I'm saying the consistency with how these things are happening in the world, the amount of different crazy things happening. Tornadoes destroying cities, tornadoes destroying St. Louis, Oklahoma, Montana. And then we said in the last video on the Wisdom Wednesday, bro, they just defunded majority of the weather system. But then we have these two guys beefing. If this isn't the biggest indicator to focus on you and focus on getting to where you're trying to go in life, I say this. Instead of worrying about the things that really matter, they're beefing with each other. Is that what we really need to be doing right now? Do we need to be in a beef war with somebody? No, that's simply not what's important. Important is building the future out and making the right moves to get us to where we're trying to go. And I don't know the right moves in the future of where we're trying to go as a country. I'm not the president. I know the right moves in the future for what I'm trying to do for my family and what I'm trying to grow. So it's like the breakdown of everything, because these are short clips. These are not going to be nothing too long. I don't want to waste no one's time. But I want to bring this to your attention. Pay attention to what's going on. And don't just look at it from the outside like everyone else is. Try to dig a little deeper into it. Try to do a little research on it. Like, try to see. Well, like I said earlier, they came together mid 2023, late 2024. They used each other perfectly to get what they needed done. And this is a sign to show you. You see how when you get what you need, after that, you shit the person away. You kind of now turn on each other. That's what happens with a lot of people in America. That's what happens with a relationship with a lot of people. Is that healthy? No. Is that how things should be done? No. Is that how business works? Business is cutthroat. But that's not how this is supposed to be ran. That's not positive energy. That's a bunch of negativity. Do we need more negativity when we already come off as one of the most negative countries in the world? No. Hence why I'm saying what I'm saying, and what I'm doing with this video is to just push the agenda to now. It's like, hey, don't believe what I'm saying. Don't think that I'm trying to put my thought on you. I want to bring this to your attention. I want you to see this for yourself. I want you to hear someone else's perspective. Because all they're going to tell you is they're arguing, oh, look at the girls fighting with each other. Bro, it's not just about that. It's deeper than that. A lot of stuff going on is way deeper than what you see on the surface. We just got to start paying attention. I don't fully know everything that's going on, but I know this isn't about this straight power, control, and whose version of America gets built. Musk is not MAGA. He's Mars. And Trump is trying to win Ohio. These are sort of this is the breakdown that I had, because I break my, so what I also do as well on the back end, it's only been, is I translate my thoughts are to ChatGPT at times or to different AI software. And then I have the AI software go deeper on my thoughts. So I'm not using the AI just to do all the thinking for me. I bring my thinking to the table. And when I bring my thinking to the table, I'm like, well, enhance my thinking. How do you now go deeper on what I'm saying and now give me more things to go off of? And don't give me opinionated things. Go find this on the web and on the internet, like I would be able to do, and now go do a mass search for me at one time and bring everything so I can decipher through what I want to hear and what I don't want to hear. And actually what is truth and what I don't think is true. So I can go find out if it is or not. This right here is a very big split, means tech and politics are about to war like never before. We're seeing it happen in front of us. Today alone, Tesla they closed today at $284.68. The market has been closed for 18 minutes. Pre-market or post-market, we're at $276.26. They opened today at $322.85. As a day trader, that's beautiful. I should have hit puts. I should have took puts on Tesla. I don't know why I didn't take puts on Tesla, but I should have took some puts. But these are the things I want you guys to focus on. I want us to focus on the market. I want us to focus on what's really going on. I don't want to just focus on them arguing and all that extra shit, because it doesn't matter. What really matters is what's happening. What does this mean for the next couple months? What does this mean? He talked about the Epstein files. Elon Musk said Trump's on the Epstein files. If you know anything, you already know Trump's on there. It's been images showing that he's been on there. Why do you think the files? You don't want your think about it. That situation is Diddy times 10. And then the president was involved in it. How does that make the country look? Answer that question to yourself. That's what you start thinking. Once you start going deeper on these different topics, I want you to start asking more questions and asking why. Because we have to ask why. There is no other answer. We have to start questioning what's going on. There's too many things going on around us that it's like, oh my, it's like a 100-mile-per-hour race that we're running, but it's like you kind of have to slow down because they want you to go even faster. They want you to go to 150. Hey, this has been a Trigger Truth Thursday, episode 1 with Melo. We are going to keep doing these different episodes to keep you informed, to keep you up to date with what's going on in the world. I appreciate everyone watching this. I ask you to like, share, and subscribe. Send this to one of your friends and be like, bro, you see what Trump and Elon's doing? If you don't, here's a break. Appreciate you. Have a good one.